Welcome to the Low Vision for Sub-Saharan Africa lecture series. This is our 6th lecture. In this lecture, we will be looking at optical low vision devices that you can prescribe. These lectures have been designed by a combined effort of Wales Optometry Postgraduate Education Centre, WOPEC of Cardiff University, and Malawi College of Health Sciences. As always, I'm Dr. Abraham and I'll be taking you through the lecture. Do not forget to go to our website at www.wopec.co.uk to register for the opportunity to get a certificate for this course. You would have to answer some few MCQs. The URL on this slide will lead you straight to the registration page. Remember, you will need your prefix and code to be able to register. The default prefix is WOPEC and the default code is 1234. If you have been following this course, we are now almost at the tail end of it, which is prescribing solutions. We did the first component, which entailed getting a good understanding of what magnification is and how to determine the right magnification for a patient. When you know the magnification, you now have to determine the kind of device that will do the job. There are two main groups of low vision aids, optical and non-optical. This lecture would focus on optical low vision aids. There are a couple of optical low vision aids available. These include hand magnifiers, stand magnifiers, flat field magnifiers, and spectacle mounted magnifiers. They are mostly for near task, but the telescopes are made to be used for distance work and can be adapted for near and intermediate work as well. When thinking of what device you wish to prescribe, you need to have in mind what the device will be used for and how long it will be used per session. A device meant to be used for sewing or trying to pick out stones from beads will not be the same as the one meant for reading text of a phone top-up card or a phone voucher. Whilst you will need a magnifier which will need less handling when picking out stones from beads, because you may need both hands to do that job and it could take hours to finish, you may not need that kind of aid to be able to read text, which is a task that will last only a minute or less, and you would only need one hand to do that. You should also look at the client's medical condition. If a client has trembling fingers or arthritis, then you would have to take these into consideration when prescribing the magnifiers. Giving such client optical aid that needs long periods of handling will not be very beneficial. Let's go on to look at some advantages and disadvantages of some of the available devices. We will start with hand magnifiers. There are a couple of hand magnifiers on the market. We will focus on the illuminated and non-illuminated ones, as well as there are some that are foldable, and you could get some that will have more than one power on. They are very easy to carry around. The only problem with it is that it may require a hand at least and can put a lot of strain on your shoulder and other joint if used for long periods of time. And if the hands are trembling, then it will not be such a good choice. There are various ways of using a hand magnifier. Some people prefer to use it at a distance from the eye, whilst others use it by bringing it very close to the eye. It is often recommended to use it as close to the eye as possible because it is more stable that way. Hovering the lens in free space and keeping the print in focus requires more effort. Secondly, you get to see more print at once, so you can read faster. If for any reason you are seeing print turned upside down, then it means you have placed the lens too far away from the target. We'll move on to stand magnifiers. They also come with illuminated and non-illuminated forms. They have a slight advantage above the hand magnifiers because they have a stand and you don't need to keep it hovering like a spacecraft. It is also relatively portable. To look through a hand magnifier, you may have to put a curve on your back and neck, which can be very strenuous, and it requires a very flat surface for it to work well. The stand magnifier does not have object at its focal point. The object is actually placed above the focal point, and there is no way of fixing that unless you lift the stand magnifier above the page. Because the object is not at the focal point, the rays that emerge from the magnifier are divergent, and it will require some extra plus lenses or accommodation to get it focused on the retina. Somebody who has presbyopia may need their prescription to see, whilst those who are young and accommodate will have to, whilst those who are young and can accommodate would have to accommodate in order to get the rays parallel again. The closer the eye is to the lens, the better, and it is so much better if the eye and the lens of the magnifier are in contact, because you get the full effect of both the lens and the magnifier. The more distance that comes in between them, the lesser the effect of the two powers combined. Spectacle or other head-mounted magnifiers are a great way to free your hands and let your head do the work. These magnifiers can be fixed locally. However, they have adverse effects on convergence, and this means you can't mount up too much power, leading to very limited magnification. And most often, you need very close near working distance as well. Flat field magnifiers are not as popular as the rest, but they are very good for those who require minimal magnification. They are portable and have a constant object to lens ratio. They are portable and have a constant object to lens distance. They allow a lot of light into the lens as well. We have the dome and the bar-shaped magnifiers. They also require a flat surface in order for you to use it. The telescopes are the last optical magnifiers we will discuss. The two main types are Galileo and Keplerian telescopes, but for the purpose of these lectures, we would categorize them into monoculars, which require the use of only one eye, and binoculars, which require both eyes. Now, the one in the picture there is a monocular telescope. Telescopes can be a little bulky compared to most of the other devices we've already mentioned, but we have some really portable ones too. It is also easy to use and could be adapted for near or intermediate work. However, you may require both hands to operate it, and you can't walk whilst using them. A good hand coordination and stability is required. You may have to also dig a little deeper into your pocket to get one, since they can be a little more expensive. To convert a telescope from distance to near, you may need to put on a cap over the objective piece of the telescopes with a power which has a focal length equivalent to where the target is positioned. Therefore, if you want to use the telescope to view a target at 40 centimeters, then you need a cap of 2.5 diopters. When the cap is placed on the objective lens, the telescope becomes a telemicroscope. There are other forms of magnifiers that are not included in this video. You can access some of these magnifiers at the following website, which is the Vision 2020 Low Vision Resource Center in Hong Kong, and the web address is provided, as well as the Royal National Institute of the Blind in UK, with the website address provided. This brings us to the end of another lecture. We hope you've not forgotten to visit our website, and the certificate is free. Your prefix will be WOPEC and your code will be 1234 to help you register. The web address is also provided. The website address www.wopec.co.uk. Special thanks to Dr. Barbara Ryan, the director of WOPEC, and Mr. Marek Karas, the low vision module leader at WOPEC, for their contribution to this work. I'll be waiting to welcome you to the last lecture. Thank you. There are various ways of using a hand magnifier. Some people prefer to use it at a distance from the eye, whilst others use it by bringing it very close to the eye. It is often recommended to use it as close to the eye as possible because it is more stable that way. Hovering the lens in free space and keeping the print in focus requires more effort. Secondly, you get to see more print at once, so you can read faster. If for any reason you are seeing print turned upside down, then it means you have placed the lens too far away from the target.